Hello guys, today it's my pleasure to share with you a bird I'm really passionate about, and that's the Buckeye Bantams. Some of the characteristics of the Buckeye Bantams are the peak comb and the beautiful Buckeye color, the little black in the main tail feathers, and that's the only place you want black is the main tail feathers, and the unexposed primary feathers where you can't see them. You really got to watch for some black in the hackle feathers and the saddle feathers, and you'll find black in the wing feathers where you shouldn't have it, and it'll end up being so you can see it. He's talking to the chickens up at the coop right now. He's a really beautiful bird, I think. He's not perfect by any means, and he's definitely not ready to come out. Last year, one of the things I really focused on was getting the peak comb better. His is definitely an improvement over what I had for the last several years before that. You went basically 3 lines on the peak comb. A lot of mine just were messed up balls on their head and way too big. As you can see the black in his tail feathers. He shows a little bit of black in his wing feathers when he's standing. He shouldn't, and he definitely droops his wings way too low when he's standing. You'll see that when I put him back out there, and when he droops his wings low, you get this fluff of feathers sticking out here. He needs to hold his wings up higher. You can see there's quite a bit of black in their wings, which is all right as long as it's not visible when he's got his wing closed. Yellow legs, beautiful red comb, wattles. Overall, he's a pretty nice bird. You won't find any positive black in his hackles. That's something I've fought with too, getting rid of the black out of their hackles. Just a beautiful Buckeye sheen. It's a red, but they call it Buckeye. Now when he stands there, you can see how much his wings drop down. That's something I'm going to work on with these next couple generations, getting the wings lifted up. Now with her, you can almost start to see some black in the hackles. I don't know how well you can see this, but just a little bit, especially as they get older. And she's over a year old now, so it starts to show more and more as they get older. You see her head's not near as white, but they're also laying eggs, or not near as bright red, but they're laying eggs, and that takes a lot away from their combs. The female peak combs on these ones are really small normally. I'd like to see them just a little bigger, but they are what they are. That's not something we're fighting now. It's not something we're trying to address right now. Another important characteristic of the Buckeye is in the back. When you flip this up, you can see a slate of gray in the undercolor. That's one of the most important characteristics of these birds. As you can see, these birds are free ranging a lot, and they're out in their coop a lot, so they're dirty. Their feet are dirty. None of them are show ready. I won't be showing birds anytime for 6 or 7 months before I show birds, so we're not too worried about getting them show ready right at the moment. Just keeping the feathers in nice condition is the main thing. The dirt will all wash off. My Buckeyes, they go broody quite a bit. Not as much as some of my other ones, but quite a bit. They make decent mothers. They definitely are really good at hatching the eggs. As far as being mothers, they're decent. I've learned that if I'm going to let them go broody, I've got to make sure they don't have a roost to get up on in whatever cage they're in. Because it seems like after about 3 or 4 days, they think the chicks should be able to get up there and roost, and the chicks can't, and then the chicks get cold at night. Especially if they do it early in the year, when it gets real cold at night and it's going to kill the chicks. So usually if I let some of them go broody, I'll put them in a cage with no roost, nowhere for them to get up into, and they stay right there and do a real good job raising the babies. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video on Bantam Buckeyes, and